Hi everyone, this is Catalina from daydreamingtoreality.com, and today I am going to teach you how to make beautiful envelopes with your Cricut machine. For this project, you can use any of the Cricut Explore family machines, the Cricut Maker or Cricut Maker 3, but unfortunately you cannot use the Cricut Joy because the space is so little that you just can't make an envelope. Believe it or not, an envelope requires a lot of paper. So sorry, Cricut Joy users, but I'm gonna be coming with more projects for Cricut Joy. Anyway, so before we go to Cricut Design Space, let me show you the materials and the tools that we are going to need to complete this project. For my envelope, I'm gonna use this beautiful, it's kind of like light, very light pink. A cardstock is quite thin actually, and I mean it's a little bit bended over here, but I'm gonna use it either way. And it's a really beautiful color. The quality of your envelope is gonna depend a lot on the type of paper you use, but again, think about it. It's an envelope. Most people that get an envelope, I don't remember saving an envelope, so let's not overcomplicate things either. Just use whatever paper you have on hand, and I'm gonna be using this one. Envelopes require you to use a scoring tool because they will create beautiful crispy folds for you to be able to assemble the envelope. If you have the Cricut Maker, you can either use the scoring wheel, which I really like, or the scoring stylus. However, if you have a Cricut Explore machines, you can only use the scoring stylus. For this tutorial, I'm going to be using the scoring stylus because I want to also show you a really cool trick that is going to help you to have better folds, because let's face it, the scoring stylus, yes, it helps, but it needs a little improvement. I'm also going to be using some crafter's tape. You can choose any glue you want, but I'm going to warn you, don't use kids glue. I am all against kids glue because they just make your paper wet and things are going to dry all icky. I really recommend that before making any projects that involve gluing, you get some high quality glue, because kids glue is just going to ruin your project. I'm going to say it on every single video because it is very, very important. To put the paper on the mat, I'm going to be using the brayer. This is one of my favorite Cricut tools, but you can also skip it because, I mean, we're going to be using light cardstock. I am, at least, and you don't want to do it so hard that things are going to get stuck to the mat. And since cardstock is such a thin material, you should use the fine point blade. Now, let's go to Cricut Design Space so you can see how to make this project. We're here in Cricut Design Space and we are going to upload the envelope. To get the files, go to my website. I'm going to leave the link right in the description or in the video somewhere, and scroll all the way down. Also, if you prefer reading a tutorial, this article will really teach you how to make really cute envelopes. For this tutorial, I'm going to be using this green one over here. I think it's really cute. And I am going to save it on my desktop. You see, it's just very simple. If for some reason it opens in a new window, the file, you right click on it and select Save Image As. Sometimes the settings kind of like change and it's hard. And people think you don't have the file, but I do. You can see I do. So we're going to be making this cute little envelope. And I'm going to click here on Upload. Let's do Upload Image. And now let's go to, I'm going to go to my desktop and I'm going to be using this one, the green one. I'm going to click on Upload. It is very, very simple, you guys. Here is the envelope. There's just a couple of things that we have to do. First, we need to rotate it because I like to work in this way better. Perfect. And I'm gonna zoom out kind of so I can see better. Now this file is grouped, but I need to ungroup it so I can modify it. There you go. Now every layer is on its own. And this rectangle here, I'm gonna change it from basic cut to score. Okay, so here is the score line. Now, do you remember the little trick I was gonna teach you? If you have a Cricut Explorer machine, you'll notice that sometimes the folds are harder to get. So something that you can do is to add a double score line and have your Cricut score 2 times. And if you score twice, then it's just gonna be so much easier to fold. Now, this is how we're going to do it. We have the score line here, and I'm going to duplicate it, or Control-C, Control-V. The tricky part is to place the copy right where this one is, because this is not symmetrical, so the align tool won't really work, and we want to keep it right where the original is. So what we're going to do is to use position. The first one here, we see that the position X is 5.671. I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to paste it on the copy, and then I'm going to change X for where I want it to be. Now I'm going to check the second position is 4.117, and now I'm going to place it here. And now everything is aligned to perfection. Isn't that amazing? We need to tell our machine where to cut and where to score. So I'm going to select all these 3 layers, and I'm going to click on attach. Now everything is set. However, I'm going to resize my envelope to fit my card. The best way to resize it is to create a guideline for the card that you're going to have. So I'm going to have a rectangle here, click on shape, square, unlock the proportions, and I'm going to resize it so it can fit my envelope. Now, keep in mind that if you're using a large card like a 5x7, you're going to have to use a 12 by 24 inches mat, and that is a large mat. And for me, that's a little hassle, because then I have to use this giant mat to just make an envelope. For me, it's not worth it. So I'd rather make envelopes for smaller cards. For instance, like a 6x4 card, it will totally work. Let's resize it. And now we're going to resize the envelope. So you just simply place the little card right in here. And now I'm just going to resize the envelope like this, so it fits right there in the middle. We don't want to have to force the card inside the envelope, so it's a good idea to leave a little space. And look at here's 11.6. I wouldn't even be able to use the 12 by 12 mat, because the max project size for a 12 by 12 mat is 11.5 by 11.5 inches. So I'm just going to keep it resizing it a little bit. And now this is perfect, 11.4. And after you're done, just simply hide or delete the square. And now I am going to save my project because I don't want to lose it. I'm going to put here envelope. I'm going to click on make it. Make sure that your machine is here. Now, do you see how much paper we're using? It's just, it takes a lot of paper to make a single envelope. Anytime you score, you have to place your paper pretty side down, because when you fold towards the lines, not against the lines. My paper has color on both sides, so I don't have to do anything really. But if your paper has 2 different sides, remember to put it pretty side down. And something that is a good practice every time that you put a material pretty side down on the mat is to mirror it, because sometimes things can look backwards. Envelopes are pretty symmetrical, so you really don't have to do anything. However, you don't have to, so I'm just gonna leave my mat as it is, because my material is the same color on the back and on the front. Okay, so now that I mentioned that, I'm gonna click on continue. And I am gonna be using a medium, it's kind of like medium cardstock. If you have a machine with a Smart Set dial like the Explorer 2, move it to custom and select material from Cricut Design Space so you have a more accurate cut. And I have it here. And now, I'm using my Cricut Maker, so the first thing that Cricut is going to recommend me is to install the scoring wheel. But I'm going to be using the scoring stylus because I like combining different tools and machines, because I think all of them are wonderful, and you don't have to feel left out. Like, let's say you have the maker, but you don't have the scoring wheel and you feel like you cannot make cards or envelopes. Well, I'm showing you that yes, you can. So click here on Edit Tools, and I'm gonna be choosing here the scoring stylus. I'm perfect. Let's go to the machine. So I'm gonna place my envelope right in here on the mat. And then with the brayer, I really like this tool because it just really helps me to have everything sticking on the mat. I'm gonna open here my machine, and now I'm gonna load the mat right here, like this. If you're deciding to use the scoring wheel, first you have to install it on clamp B. However, since I'm gonna be using the scoring stylus, I can just leave my fine point blade here and install my scoring stylus on clamp A, and then put it like this, and then we're gonna close it. And now, when you have everything nice and installed, click on the flashing go button to start the cut. First, the machine is gonna score, then it's gonna cut. My machine is done cutting, and something that I like to do before I unload the mat is to check if it cut. If not, then I would just press again the start button for the Cricut to do another pass, and this works with any of the machines. So I'm gonna unload the mat. Here's the envelope, and I'm just gonna get it closer so you can see how easier it is going to fold. Now, when you're scoring, remember that you always fold towards the lines. And I don't know, in the background you may hear my boy like being very loud. So, you know, that's motherhood for you there. Oh my gosh. It is so much easier than if you had just done one of the lines. And remember, high quality glue only. I'm gonna use this crafter's tape. I just really think it's so much easier. And here. That's perfect. And now, here is a cute little envelope. Okay guys, we just made this cute little envelope. It's ready to go. I mean, it's just adorable. I wouldn't make like mass produced envelopes, like let's just say for sending Christmas cards to everyone. I think it would be too expensive, but for a very special occasion like our anniversary card, Mother's Day card, Father's Day card, Valentine's Day card, all things cards, it's a really good idea to make your own so it matches the card, the colors of the card. It just adds this extra touch, and that's it. I think it's really pretty, and go get it on my website. And if you are struggling with Cricut Design Space, make sure to check out my Master Cricut Design Space ebook. I'm gonna leave the link somewhere in the video, in the description. You know, just check for links that will walk you through everything that you need to know for Cricut Design Space, like, you know, how to get started, install it, pair it with your machine, etc, etc, etc. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.